Well, I must have angered the Porsche gods. I was 3 weeks shy of a full year of trouble-free motoring, and the Porsche guys just wouldn't allow that, so they decided to punish me. Yep, that's the brake booster faulty message, and for me, it was a byproduct of Porsche's cheapness in order to save a few pennies on material costs. If you are also receiving this message, there is a good chance that it might be an easy fix for you, like it was for me. The problem stems from Porsche using plastic tubing between the brake booster and the brake booster vacuum air pump. Over time, this plastic vacuum tubing breaks down from the high underhood temperatures and will eventually crack, causing a vacuum leak. This vacuum is what is needed to assist you when applying the brakes. If you drove the car with this fault, you probably noticed that you had to exert more pressure on the brake pedal in order to get the car to stop. Think of it this way, a brake booster is to braking what power steering is to steering. Now that I know what the cause of the problem is, let me show you my thought process when I was troubleshooting. The first thing I did was pop the hood and remove this cover. Underneath this cover is where the brake master cylinder and brake booster are located. The green arrow pointing to the black circular thing is the brake booster. The blue arrow is the fluid reservoir for the brake master cylinder. And the red arrow is the plastic vacuum line that connects the brake booster to the brake booster vacuum air pump. The first thing I did was look for any obvious problems, like low fluid, disconnected wires, or broken vacuum lines. I didn't see any problems here, so the next stop is the brake booster vacuum air pump. In order to inspect the brake booster vacuum air pump, you'll need to remove the engine beauty covers. To remove the engine beauty covers, you'll need a flathead screwdriver and a T20 torque socket. Next, I use a 10mm socket to remove the two bolts that fasten the air pump to its mounting location. By removing the air pump, I'm hoping it will give me enough room to inspect the air pump and vacuum tubing better. Not long after removing the air pump, I immediately noticed the problem. This plastic vacuum tubing that exits on the passenger side firewall had cracked and is causing a vacuum leak. Since Porsche is better at being comedians than using quality parts, I decided not to pay the $105 that my dealer quoted me for that small section of plastic tubing, and instead will use heater hose. Before I install the heater hose over the original plastic tubing, I need to remove the crack section first. A Dremel tool with a small cutting disc worked great. Once I had the cracked section of tubing removed, it was now time to install the heater hose. I used 1/2-inch heater hose with 2 hose clamps to seal the plastic vacuum tubing. When installing the hose clamps, take care of not over-tightening them, otherwise it could collapse the plastic tubing. Before I button everything up, I use my Mighty Vac tool to make sure the repair I just made isn't leaking. If you don't have one of these, they are great for bleeding brakes, finding vacuum leaks, and much more. First, I switch the tool to its vacuum setting, then find the appropriate adapter to insert into the heater hose, and then pump the handle a few times to see if a vacuum is holding. Sweet, no leaks. Time to button everything up. Will the Porsche gods have mercy? Moment of truth. Sweet! Right after starting the car, the fault message was gone. But don't be alarmed if you are still receiving this message. I have been told in some cases that it may take a 10 to 15 minute drive in order to get the fault message to disappear. And this is how I fixed the brake faulty message on my 2005 Porsche Cayenne Turbo. If this video was helpful, make sure you hit that like button. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to answer them. So long.